exciting. All right. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to a stream. I think this stream is going to be about this thing that I've been doing where I basically just make Wordly maps of people's Twitter profiles for fun. And it's a little mix of something like semi-serious, like it's semi-serious and it's also not so serious at the same time. Uh, I think the fun part with this is like the semi-serious bit is not turning people into value chains or Wordly maps or whatever, but more learning about the situation that they're in and how they view that situation, like based on the clues that they leave on their Twitter profile, which I think is kind of cool. So, and then the not so serious part is like we get to do some fun things. Like for some people, I put that they have like fun colored hair on their map, for example, and that's the kind of thing that I think is fun. So we'll do a couple of things like that where it's just kind-hearted funness. I'm gonna make sure that everyone can find the stream real quick. So I'm just gonna put that link there so if folks want to join, they can. All right. So I have a bit of a process for this now. It's kind of, as with many things that I do, is I went a little bit overboard. And what started as like, oh, I'll just make a quick map of every person turned into, oh, let me do a full like production of sorts, like record the map being made and then provide commentary about the map and all this fun stuff. But long story short, I have a bit of a process now and I'll walk us through that here. So in the meantime, what I will say is that I'm going to do my best to be kind and caring with as I go through these profiles and things like that. Part of the fun of the humor of the process is being able to kind of like find the little things that might not normally belong on a map, but in this case are worth adding just for a little bit of fun. But if I ever feel like I made a mistake around how I approach that or anything, like I'll plan to learn from it. But I think we can just have some fun here. So on the stream, you can probably see I've got something laid out here where we on the left we've got like my Remarkable tablet, so what I'm using to draw, and then on the right we've got our browser. And kind of like the basic way I think I'm going to do this is I'll use the Remarkable tablet to draw. I'll then, like while I'm drawing that, I'll record it in Camtasia, and then we'll kind of like pull open Camtasia and do some editing at the end to sort of produce the artifact. And then on the right we have our browser window, which is basically just how I'll be finding people, looking at their profiles, and all that fun stuff. So if at any point you have any questions or you're like, hey, that was weird, why'd you do it that way? You can just say something in the chat and I'll take a look and I'll say hello. I see Daniel's already sent me a smiley face in chat. Hi, Daniel. So with that, I mean, let's dig in. Okay, so first thing I gotta do is I've got to find my backlog, my list of things. So this is the tweet that kind of started this whole prompt. Reply and I'll Wordly map you based only on your profile. And right now I'm pretty sure we've got like 110 or so replies to this. So I've got my work cut out for me. I'll put it that way. So let's see. I think I'll have to go back into my notifications to do this. Let's see. So if I go all the way back, I think the last one that I did is Uberstuber, which is the map that I have up right now. Oh gosh. Okay, so keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh gosh, the scrolling is endless. Yeah, okay, almost there, I think. Starting to see some names I recognize. Okay. All right, I think I did George. I think I did Ahmed. Which if you want to go back and check on these, just if you want to see the ones that I've already done, you can just go to my profile and look at media and things like that. Hi Victor, whoop whoop indeed. Okay, so I did Ahmed. Let's see, I did Giradar and Anthony and Malam, James, Mike, Soren, and okay, here we go. Here's James. So if I click on James, basically what I've been doing is I've been posting a video, like a time lapse of the map that I've made, and then the final like map is like just a still image at the end, and then I just kind of say some silly things in reply to the tweet. So that's kind of like what we're gonna do here. So let's see who's next. Asher, volunteering as tribute, much appreciated. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna get myself a little bit of space to work here. So I've got a bunch of maps up here. I'm gonna find an empty template. Basically what I did on the Remarkable is I just used layers. I used a grid template, and then on layer 1, I basically just sketched out a quick Worldly mapping template. You can see along the bottom, I chose some of the practice and activity labels for the x-axis of evolution in Worldly mapping. And then I just used, like you can do like gray, color, and so on like that, to sort of like create a backdrop here with separators that are not going to like interfere with the words that I'm going to write on top. And then my plan, or what I've been doing so far at least, is to then on the second layer draw my map, and like whenever I go to erase things on the second layer, it doesn't affect the background. So layers, the power of layers. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and erase everything real quick. There we go. Excellent. So let's look at our profile. That's kind of like the first thing, is just like appreciating the profile a bit. So we've got Asher, Black Lives Matter in the background, father, husband, flawed and growing, runner, swimmer, tweets deleted regularly. Oh, so this is gonna be a challenge because I can't go back in time and see all the tweets. That's okay, because I kind of like just skim the recent happenings. So I'm gonna do like right off the bat. Oh, I forgot I want to record my screen, so I've got to get my recording set up here so I don't miss that. Okay, and I'm just gonna just getting Camtasia set up to record here. Okay, recording in progress. Okay, so now I'm recording the map so that way I can actually produce a video like I wanted to. Cool. So with that recording, kind of some easy wins here. Like we can start off with like the privacy aspect of this, like tweets deleted regularly. So I'm just gonna say that Asher, which I forget this person's name. I feel like I know their name, but I don't remember. So we'll go with Asher. Asher wants privacy, needs privacy. I suppose, maybe, that's a hypothesis. That's the cool thing about maps, is we just like write down what we think, and then as we learn, we update the map. So I'm gonna take a bold hypothesis that Asher values privacy. And I guess like, do I think privacy is something that is novel, emerging, good, or best? I think, oh, this is a tricky one because it's almost contextual, but I'm gonna put privacy as like a good practice for now, and then I'm just gonna connect those dots back here. And then privacy depends on regular tweet deletion. So I'm going to assume that there's some software that's doing that. And I feel like I've seen different kinds of software that do that. So I feel like it's probably like sort of an early product or so, whatever software happens to be doing that. So I'm just going to put that there. So we'll put tweet deletion. I'm assuming that's semi-automated, but I don't know. Some people do that manually, I suppose. And sure, why not? I'll put Twitter down here as well. So we've got our this is Asher in my mind, privacy tweet deletion person. So let's see. And again, like I'm not really trying to figure out like who they are. It's more like what situations are they in. And so this situation is a privacy situation, which is pretty cool. So let's see here. Runner, swimmer, father, husband, all sorts of things. So like it seems like fitness probably matters. And fitness is generally also viewed as like a good practice, I think. If it was truly best practice, I suspect that we would all be a little bit more fit. But who knows? We'll see. So fitness, and then underneath fitness, he's got running and swimming. And I think, globally speaking, I think running and swimming is not something that everyone does, but it's pretty common. Like maybe swimming less so than running. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just taking guesses. Running and swimming for fitness. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's see here. And here's where maybe we'll get into some of the humor and the fun parts of this. Like, so new to TypeScript, why am I adding types to Node? So this is a question or a statement about JavaScript. And I cannot help myself but pick on JavaScript at every opportunity. So, let's see, how can we work JavaScript into this, just for fun? Usually JavaScript ends up like, I don't know. I'm going to put it over here because everybody treats it like the thing to use. I might be wrong on that, but it doesn't matter. So JavaScript, and then I feel like TypeScript. I haven't played with these in a while, so I feel like TypeScript is like a layer on top of JavaScript, although I don't remember the specifics. Let's see, anything else here we can work with? I always like to like creep on the media a little bit, because that kind of, what are you screenshotting? What are you posting along those lines? Okay. So, like some oh shoot, I forget the show's name. I'm terrible. But like maybe this has something to do with privacy. I don't know. We'll figure out a way to work this in. So TypeScript. Let's see if we can figure out anything else. You know what? At this point, I've spent probably way too much time on this map, so I'm just going to run with Hello World. I suppose that's like more of a... What is Hello World doing? So they're writing programs, so like learning, whoopsie. TypeScript is enabling some kind of learning, and in order to learn, they're doing a Hello World, which is like a classic. Okay, so yeah, I'll do this, learning TypeScript. Boop, boop, boop. Not sure why I can't erase that. Maybe, oh, I know, because when I exited it and opened it back up, put me back on layer 1, which is rude. Okay, so Hello World is how we learn a language for the first time. But learning a language is like usually like a custom process. Like everybody learns it differently. So learn TS, and then, yeah, JavaScript's in here somewhere, but we'll figure that out. So in order to learn TS, I'm going to put this even closer to the top, because I think that's probably like fulfilling some sort of need for him. Learn TypeScript. And in order to do that, doing the standard hello world gloriousness, and without overthinking it, I'm just going to put JavaScript down here as well, because JavaScript's just in everything. Okay, this is good enough. It's not as funny or humorous as I'd normally try to make it, but can't win them all. So, all right, I'm going to stop recording the thing, and now we're going to do the editing bit. So, pulling up Camtasia, and let's see here. So, part of the hard thing with this is that worthy maps like take a lot of time, I think, to think and decide things. And so what is a little disappointing for me is like I'm almost about to like go back and scrub history. Like I need an output video that is interesting and engaging, and if like you see sketching and then the sketching stops for like a period of 30 seconds, then you think something's wrong with the video. When in reality, I'm just taking some time to think. Like I need time to think in order to make a worthy map. So it feels a little wrong to go back and cut out all those moments of pausing, but this is kind of like the trade-off. So I don't know, maybe by live streaming this, I'll feel less bad about that. But okay, so I need some visual effects. I need to increase the clip speed, and I've settled on 8x. So I'll speed up the clip by 8 times. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scrub through the video, and I'm going to delete all the sections of just like when nothing interesting is happening. Okay, so take our first pass here. Nothing, 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 nothing. Oh, all right. There we go. So there's the beginning. Excuse me. All right. So this is our first moment of importance. Asher at the top, scrubbing, scrubbing. And then where's our first thing that we add? Okay, privacy right there. So Asher needs privacy. And then, right, we did tweet deletion here. Okay. Yeah, this is the kind of tedious part of all this, is like doing all the editing, but that is okay. There we go, there's fitness. So that was me ranting for like however long. Twitter and fitness. And then, yeah, swimming and running. Here we go. Swimming and running. And I like to keep in all the parts where like I wrote something down and then I didn't like it. So I went back and changed it. I like to keep that in because frankly, nobody gets the map right on the first try. So it's kind of important to show the, no pun intended, the evolution of the map. Okay, so I started writing hello world over there. I want to keep that mistake. And then I thought for a bit, and I decided on putting it there, and I think I even decided to like move it from that point. Oh, yes. All right, here we go. Cutting this down, learn TS. Deleting the JavaScript bit, deleting learn TS again, rewriting it up here, adding the relationship, and adding in JavaScript again. Here we go. Yeah, I'm not really trying to like create this perfect thing. It's really just I want it to be like as an artifact on the output, something worth like watching. It's gonna only take, see, it's only like 15 seconds long, but that's actually like part of the value is like in 15 seconds you can see all the mistakes I made and everything that I did, without having to endure the entire like grueling process of me like waffling on various things. Oh man. Okay, so I'm gonna extend this a little bit just so we have some dead space at the end where the map is static. And then I'm gonna export the frame. And this is for Asher. Oh, I didn't want to export that there. There we go, asher.png. And then I'm going to export the MP4 file. Okay, and while this is exporting, I'll just catch up on some of the commentary that's coming in. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Jared, that's a really good point. Like, it would be nice to have a transition or something that showed that thinking happened. Like, it'd be nice if I had like some kind of macro where I could hit a button and just be like, we cut out a bunch of things here. Or like a timer that could be like 20 seconds elapsed or like 10 minutes elapsed or whatever. And yeah, it's like we need a way to like express that there was effort expended at that point in the map making process. That would be so helpful. So yeah, and James talking about my YouTuber benchmark, 30 seconds of dead air being a lot of time. Yeah, I mean, for content creation, it's like it's a little bit of a lot of time, I think. 30 seconds of rambling on my part. Okay, so we've got the video exported. Now I'm gonna come back here and get our upload. And part of the fun with this too is like every little like map like this is kind of an expression of love or care for everybody. So I get this chance to like say something. So I'm gonna be like, let's see, did my best, tried to somehow make JavaScript a dependency of your fitness regimen. I don't know how to spell regimen. Regimen? Yeah, there we go, okay. But couldn't figure it out. Cheers. There, so we'll just do a little post there. And then I'll immediately reply to that with like just a still. The still image of the map. Let's see. And I think I'm liking the idea of like in the follow-up tweet just adding a little bit of commentary about like what might be wrong about the map or what might be interesting to think about. So I wasn't sure if tweet deletion was automated and whether that's about privacy or something else, but I took a guess. There we go. Okay. Got a map done. One down, 99 to go. Okay, so let's go to our next map here. Let's see, how are we doing on time? I think I've got like a call at like, I want to make sure I know what, okay, yeah, I got a call at 2 p.m. That's in an hour and a half, so we've got plenty of time. Goody. All right, so next person. Let's see, we've got Asher down. Now we've got James Brown. Excellent. Okay, got my blank slate. Somebody start timing me. See how long it takes me to do these. It's like, I'll get through this thread in a year. Okay, James Brown, product person. Head of product. What is VIOOH? View. Leading global digital out-of-home marketplace. I don't know what that is. So just reading. And this is almost always the first step in mapping, especially when I'm like new to a space. I go reading. I go look at the words people use. So here's a tweet about US executives. OOH is like a term of art, and I don't know what that term of art is. So OOH. I'm Googling that. Occupational, no, that's not right. Programming. OOH. Well, if anyone knows what OOH is, goodness, please tell me. I'm just going to look at this website real quick. Out of home. Okay. Advertising. Okay, so they used to work for head of product for out of home advertising, content things, many internet things, early disco on a solo thing. I don't know what early disco is, but that feels like something to have. Oh yeah, thank you, James. Early disco seems like something to have fun with. Ooh, some spicy takes about Agile out here. And writing at prod.fyi. Early discovery. Thank you. You were the best, James. All these terms of art that I don't know anything about. But like I might be silly about that and play ignorant now, even though we know what the word means. But yeah, so let's. Oops, almost forgot to record again. Let's go. Recording. All right. Okay, so James Brown needs disco. And I'm being facetious, even though we know that's discovery. Let's see. I'm just going to leave that there. What else should we do? Probably doing some things for product people, or at least making content for product people. Let's see who else. Part of the fun, I think, with this is like you try to. Like I'm no longer asking people whenever I teach them to do mapping to pick a situation to map. Now these days I ask people more to appreciate the situations that they're already in. So my mindset with this is, what is the situation that James is already in? And by studying that, we can figure out who he's producing value for, who needs his services. So here's his website, prod.fyi. Should you learn to code? Empowered Agile. Describes himself as a maker of internet things. Fair enough. Hey, I'll just... maybe we can work disco into making internet things. Well, maybe I'm trying too hard on that. So let's see. Should you learn to code? Who is this for? If you're a non-technical product manager, is it worth learning to code? So James is writing things from the product manager perspective. So product management, product managers. What do they need from James? Well, they need advice. Such as, should I learn how to code? Oh, and you know what? This is how we're gonna do this. We're gonna work disco into that. And I call this like 80s culture, 80s music. Although maybe this is more like back here these days. I don't know. Anyway, it's a joke, right? So like we're not being too serious. We're just trying to express some silly ideas on a map. And so I'm just gonna play this up and suggest that the advice is dependent on disco. Disco music. Again, kind of being deliberately ignorant here. Okay. And then Agile's in here somewhere. And he like distinguishes service agile from product agile. I think that's an interesting, spicy take. Service agile, product agile. Yeah, and it's fun too, because like Wordly mapping, you know, it says that like things that are in these first two stages of evolution, like over here, tend to be really good fits for agile techniques, and Simon always like describes that in terms of like extreme programming or like the idea of reducing like the cost of change. Because when you're in stages 1 and 2, like change is all you got until you find the source of value. Like when you start doing something for the first time in stage 1, it's like you don't know like whether it's even worth doing. You've got to try it a bunch of different ways until you find the version of it that is useful. If it fails a lot, that's normal, all that kind of fun stuff. And so you literally need to like be able to metabolize information quickly, so that you can change direction and go explore a different set of options. So that's just like on my mind with this. So, oh, and I like, James, your suggestion of saying that disco needs agile. Oh, like why don't we go really super facetious on this and just agility, agile, that kind of fun stuff. Well, of course you need to be agile in order to dance. Oh, that's it. Yeah, dancing to the disco. Let's see if there's anything else in the profile that I can use along those lines. Disco needs dancing. There's nothing here that indicates any sort of dancing is going on, but like misreading the portfolio is half of the fun. Oh yeah. Well, maybe only product agility needs disco. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. I feel like I want to do one more thing with this. Service agile, product agile. Okay, well, here's what we'll do. If James is saying that the Agile Manifesto is service agile, not product agile, then I'm going to make a very perhaps naive assumption at the moment that service agile, let's say dancing agile, needs the different kinds of agility. So service agile, let's say, is more common over here. And then James is suggesting that digital product innovation agile is like not a thing. Digital product innovation. For example, you get some like super sweet, groovy bell-bottom pants. Well, they're not digital, they're physical. We'll figure that out. Programmable bell-bottom pants. I don't know why. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that alone. All right, so here we go. This is our horrible bastardization. Oh, shoot, and you know what? On the last map, I forgot to sign it. I meant to do that. So, James, that is a very good point. Out of home. You're right. Disco does happen. Disco and dancing happens out of home. Ooh. Out of home. Ooh. So now we're getting like pretty wild with it. Okay. All right, here we go. And then last step, I'm going to try to remember to do this on all of the ones going forward. It's like a map of one James Brown made with love. Dun, 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 dun. Cool. All right, now I'm going to stop recording so I can... Oh, yeah, and you know what time it is. It's Camtasia time. All right, so this was our last map. And I'm just going to come down here. You know the deal. This part's a little... oh, I'm sorry, Victor. We missed the John Travolta opportunity. You're right, but there's always the next map. Yeah, okay, so this part of the process is always a little tedious, so bear with me. You get to see me editing. Okay, so. Oh, and my cat has come to help. Oh, I misspelled James Brown. Oh no. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We'll fix it in post. Let's see. Annotations. We'll drag a letter over here. We'll drag an E. Make it a color that I can actually see. Boop. All right. and nobody knows the difference. Okay. All right, I'm gonna bring that all the way to the end. All right, misspellings aside, disco. Okay, then we did product managers, ripple delete range. There we go. Product managers, need advice. And then disco, 80s music culture, pushed it back. Sorry, I have nothing interesting to say. Oh no, James, I didn't do that on purpose. Like in Woo! That's funny. Okay, disco music. And just for fun, I'll leave in this like little weird agile rant. It'll make the process more interesting to watch. Okay, so there we are, and we're erasing it. Redrawing things. Oh, we're getting close to done here. This part is a little tedious. Like sometimes, like one of the ways I found myself to saving time was studying the profile a little longer up front, so that I would get like the full idea in my head before I mapped it out. But because I'm also like live streaming, it's like my short-term memory is just shot. So it's like quite a bit easier just to kind of go a little bit at a time and comment as we go. And the downside is I'm just like trying hard to get this done here. Okay, by the way, the add a home was a great suggestion. That's like, mwah. Okay, here we go. There we go. That's close enough. All right, and a little bit of dead silence there at the end, or dead movement, where we've got the final map. Export the frame. So we have our image, one James Brown. And then export the video. Boom. All right. Okay. Exporting. Yay. All right. I like that, James. You're right. Simon does say use a common language, but he doesn't have anything to say on deliberately misunderstanding a common language. Yeah, it's like a whole other layer to like do this humor thing on top of it. Okay, and now we get the joy and pleasure of sending along this map. Okay. Here we go, and let me just remind myself, what sort of things did we say? At a home disco. At a home disco sounds fun. All right, uploading the video. This is ridiculous. I feel so lucky that this is how I get to spend today. last night I like went to bed at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., and I woke up at 2:30 a.m. and then just stayed up for like 4 hours or so, got some course production stuff done. And then when I was done sketching some things for pragmatic wordly mapping for that course, I crashed out and went and took a nap. But now I'm up and at it again. I'm just feeling very lucky. There we go. Though I might have misunderstood. Which kind of agility is required for this particular kind of disco? Yeah, and I think the fun thing too about this is like we're being playful, like deliberately misunderstanding the language is actually kind of fun, or maybe even important, because by seeing the deliberate misunderstanding, the playfulness of it, like it's an obvious mistake to make, and so we can be like, oh, you did it the wrong way, and I get the joke of you doing it the wrong way, and that kind of just sort of fills in some blanks about how the thing works if you were to do it the right way, if there's even a right way. There are often many right ways with modeling in particular, not in like, I don't know, I don't want to be wishy-washy on life in general, but with wordly mapping in particular, there are often many different ways to model the same situation and many different perspectives to consider. And that's why it's always valuable to map with a friend. All right, we've got Asher done today. We've got James Brown done. All right, Vikesh is next. All right, my friend. Okay, I'm gonna try like getting the idea together before I make the map a little bit this time, so we spend less time wandering about. Okay, Vikesh is in Sydney, has nothing in his profile, except followed by some people that I seem to follow. That's useful to know. Team topologies and wordly mapping, Ruth Milan and Vizark. Pretty common stuff for the folks who are in my circles. That's reassuring. Okay, so right now we've got a lot of retweets. So this is like one of the harder profiles, I think, of the last three, because it's, you know, what is Vikesh doing? I don't actually know. So again, I'm going to go to the media because it's kind of, oh, and food is perfect for this kind of thing. Let's see. Oh, thank you for timing me, James. 17 minutes. Oh no. Yeah. We'll see if we can refine that time a little bit. 17 minutes per map is a little bit too long. All right, but okay. So looking at our media, we see the kinds of things that Vikesh is like posting about, and images give me a lot more to work with because, like, images capture like 1,000, things going on all at once. Chicken for the biryani prep. So I need to remind myself what is biryani? It's like what is a mixed rice dish? Indian spices. Okay, so it's spicy. Good. Okay, I spicy food is like a godsend here. So, all right, and I need to be recording again, otherwise I won't have a map for them. And start recording. Okay, so I'm gonna say that Vikesh needs spicy food and walks outside. Ooh, a nice backyard, maybe. Nice trees. Vikesh is appreciating food, nature, and space. So I'm going to, yeah, we'll start here. I'm being a little bit like kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like just, I'm being sincere. So Vikesh likes spicy food. Spicy food in many contexts is pretty much best practice, especially biryani, since it's like Indian Muslim origin, um, and that accounts for quite a large portion of the population. So, spicy food, and then one of the options we have for that is biryani, and I think that needs rice and chicken. Rice, chicken, some hot ass spices. I'm not thinking too hard about my placement there. This is right-ish side of the map, I think. I hope. Okay, we've got spicy food down. Nature. I feel like nature is a pretty accepted want and need. Nature. And that kind of depends on the weather. Although you could probably like dock me points for putting the weather on the map. That's not something that's particularly affected by capitalism unless you consider climate change. Well, in that case, I'll leave it on. But weather, something about like the flora here. Like he seems to be appreciating this tree, which is gorgeous. My goodness. And I think this has to do with like having good environments. I think people underappreciate having good environments. And I don't know if it's like welcoming is the right one that I should describe it. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna happy place. That's what it is. We're gonna use Vikesh's words. Happy place. And in order to have a happy place, this is dependent on his outdoor environment. So he's got a backyard. And I think this is like a product-ish kind of thing, since not everyone has a backyard, and also like the work you have to do in order to make your backyard a happy place. There are lots of different ways to do that, but no standard way. So I'll just put backyard. Here we go. Okay, and then the other thing I'll mention is that like Vikesh's way of accessing the backyard, or sorry, accessing the flora and weather, is through the backyard. Like the backyard is actually the doorway to that. So I think we can say that there's like a some relationships like that. Oh, a little kookaburra. Good food, relaxing vibes. Okay, this is great. So this turned into an earnest post, an earnest map, if you will. I like this a lot. This makes me feel warm and happy thinking about Vikesh's kind of situation and things like that. So that's the vibe I'm gonna go with. Let's get this signed. A map. Instead of I'm gonna say for now. A map for Vikesh Kambaran, made with love by Hired Thought. Okay. Excellent. All right, that one came together quickly. Okay, gonna stop the recording, pull up Camtasia, and now we've got a little bit of work to do. This one feels like it's going faster. I'm trying to delete the things. There we go. Okay. This one's going a little bit faster here, so okay. Visual effects, clip speed, 8x. There we go. So Vikesh needs spicy food. Nice. Chicken, spices. Nice. Nature, weather, and flora. Yep. So again, I'm just cutting out all the extra time here spent in dead space. And again, that's like important for the final artifact, presentation, so to speak, of the map. But it, as I mentioned before, it's like, it's something I feel a little bit uncomfortable about because it betrays the truth, or rather like it hides the truth, which is it took us actually like kind of a bit of time to think through Vikesh's situation and to think about what words to use, and all the thinking doesn't get represented on a map. And so I liked the idea that Jared had earlier, where it was like, could we have a way of marking that thinking happened? Like we spent a lot of time on this step so that folks could appreciate like that it didn't come to us easy or easily, or like I think if people think that mapping is supposed to be easy and then they try to do it and it's not easy for them, then they feel like they're like something's wrong with them, and that's not okay. I don't like that at all. I want people to feel like they can make maps, they can try it, they can be wrong. In fact, I want them to realize that I'm often wrong. Okay, and the thing is, you just gotta try it. Make those mistakes. All right, exporting the frame here, Vikesh Kambaran, and then we'll export the video. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So I think we're getting that time down a little bit. All right. All exported here. Now I just gotta let them know. Here's your map. And I'm kind of jealous. Right. Thank you, James. 10 minutes. Oh wait, but the tweeting is still. I gotta do the tweeting. About your situation. So lovely. Almost done though. From 17 to 10 minutes is like a pretty good improvement. I'm not necessarily trying to go fast on this because like if this takes me 2 months to get through everyone, I'm probably gonna do it because I don't know. It just seems like I don't know. Like the one-on-one things are very much my jam. Just like checking in with everybody, and one of the cool things about this, I think, is that when you use the language that other people are using, and basically like by making a map of each individual person's situation, it's something that they can inherently relate to. Like Simon Wardley's like cup of tea example is great because it's really understandable, but it's too trivial, and so people don't like engage with it. Like it's too simple, it's too understandable in a way. So like it's easy to pick up and then dismiss it. Whereas if I use your words to describe your situation, but using a new structure like Wardley mapping, then I think like it's something that you can engage with. It's got a little bit of frictionful. Yeah, kind of cool stuff. James asks a really interesting question. Could you get yourself a tandem person for editing and posting the clips? You know what? I could actually do that. Yeah, I have an amazing admin. His name is Tyler Wilson, and Tyler is like legit the best. I bet we could do a live stream where he did that because he's an expert at editing videos and things like that. So I could definitely do that. Not sure about today, but maybe another time. And maybe that'll be the fun thing, because I kind of stopped doing live streams for a little bit, just because I just didn't have the energy for it. And this feels doable. So maybe I'll schedule some more live streams and I'll ask Tyler to help me with the editing side of that. So that's a great idea. Thank you, James. Okay, I'm just gonna get this posted here. And your backyard. I am pretty jealous of that backyard. That's a lovely backyard. All right, moving right along. Who is next? We've got Asher done, we've got James Brown done, we've got Vikesh done. Evgeny is next. Okay. All right. I think this will probably be the last one that I do in the live stream. I've noticed I'm getting a little tired and I think I need lunch. So we'll get the, we'll do this one and then we'll call it for the day. All right. Recording the map. Very good. Excellent. Okay, so Evgeny, I am going to guess that Evgeny skydives. So that's the first thing that I noticed right off the bat is both the header image and the profile picture is of a person skydiving. And so we're definitely going to work that into the map. Let's see. So retweeting some things from Matthias. So maybe some domain-driven design things. And okay. Oh yeah, in the description. Inspiration is for amateurs. The rest of us just show up and get to work. Chuck Close. Interesting. Okay. Let's get some of the media here. Something about smart contracts. Okay. Evening sun in Greenwich. Riga. So we're maybe in Riga or the UK perhaps. Yeah, okay. I suspect they were traveling to Riga, maybe. All right. This one's tough because there's not a ton of stuff to work with, but here's my guess. Evgeny is probably someone in software development or architecture, potentially, because they're talking a bit about code. And I like this, a joke about an Amazon region being down. Okay. So I'm going to guess architect, especially because architects tend to find me. I am not an architect, but they certainly tend to find me. Maybe like an architect manager because of the interest in like radical candor and things like that. So yeah, we're gonna do our best with this. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna involve inspiration because this person is using a quote explicitly that says that inspiration is for amateurs. So I'm going to draw inspiration and then I'm going to scribble it out. So that'll be a fun little plot point in the map building process. And I'm just going to make some assumptions about Evgeny from the images and things like that. So let's say Evgeny needs the thrill of being alive. So feeling alive, let's say. I think we all need that every once in a while. And in order to feel alive, the way that Evgeny does that is, let's see. The radical candor thing makes me think maybe they have some hard conversations. So that's one way to feel alive, is to have hard conversations where you speak truths. And they also skydive. So they seek a thrill. And I'm going to say the way that they get that thrill is skydiving. And then the hard conversations uses, like I'm probably mixing up like generic concepts versus instances of concepts. Like a hard conversation is a generic concept, and maybe the radical candor framework is an instance of a hard conversation, maybe. But also you could see this as like two separate things, where it's like hard conversations are a thing, and they depend on frameworks like radical candor or something like that. So we're gonna roll with that. And then, US East 1. We're going to work that in. So we're going to say a US East 1 outage is a best practice. That's not true at all, but it's kind of, I think it's a good joke. And that enables, what did they say? I can't vacuum. Yeah. so bespoke vacuuming approaches well, no, we'll just do bespoke vacuuming. There we go. Which depends on Internet of Shit. So Internet of boop, boop, boop. And that depends on the US East 1 outage. We'll go with that. Okay. And the last thing that we're missing probably is some need that this ties back to. This is just a random tweet, so it's not necessarily relevant to Evgeny's situation, but let me think. I'm going to do this. Oh, and I didn't do the thing around inspiration. Right, so we'll come back to this and we'll say inspiration, question mark, and then the answer is no. There we go. There's our map. I appreciate you, Victor, for saying that. Yeah, I'm not going to burn myself out. I'm just having fun. I'll do a couple a day. It's been a really, really lovely time, honestly, doing this. I've enjoyed it a lot. Okay. Now we're just going to sign the map and we'll move on. Okay. A map for at 3v11v made with, for whatever reason, every time I draw a heart, I can't help but make it look kind of like a B. Maybe I just need to draw it slower. That is a struggle. Okay, there we go. Stop the recording, and it's time for your favorite thing. This one will be easier because it moved a little bit more quickly. Just because I did a little bit more upfront work sitting with our profile. You'll notice I kind of spent time absorbing information, and then some of that stuff came back out of nowhere. It's like, oh, right, that thing. It's kind of like mapping gives you an excuse to study the space. So in a weird way, mapping is an excuse for me to study the people who are interacting with me on Twitter. Oh man, yeah, that's a great idea, Victor. Get a bunch of people who I've mapped into a room, and then Ben has woefully butchered a map of your realities. What did he get wrong? And it could be a roast or something. That'd be fun. Okay, this one needs less TLC. because the ideas were flowing pretty regularly. So I think we just have a couple of these kind of sections to cut out. I suspect they'll like that. Okay. And just scrubbing it all the way across. Yeah, at no point are we sitting there for a couple seconds of dead silence. All right. Add the ending, export the frame, and then we'll export the video. 3v11v. Wha-bam. Thanks, James and Victor, for being here. And Gregor, you too. I appreciate you. Y'all are so lovely. All right. Video is exported. Time to send it. All right, we've got our map here. Sending the video. Did my best. On good fun. So forgive any assumptions about why you jump out of planes. Oh, I could have done a whole little chain of depending on planes and other things, but I didn't do that. Maybe pilots too. It's okay. That's part of the fun. You start to see all the edges. You're like, oh, and I could go in this direction, or I could go in this direction. And I think the important thing is that you get all the way through the process of making a map, and then we didn't do this here, but doing some strategic thinking about the map before you get caught up in the details of all the rabbit trails you could go down. I actually think it's really important to get all the way through a loop and feel complete, and then go through the loop again in a new direction. Oh, we're going to add some details around the skydiving bit, or we're just going to make a map of that on its own, or something like that. That seems important. Okay, here's your map. Thanks for letting me make a map. Also, you can see we realized inspiration had no place. All right, there we go. And we're done. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. Thanks for putting up with my experimenting here. I'm kind of happy with how this went, so I think I'll do this a little bit more maybe. And to James's point, I'll see if I can get Tyler to come in and help with the video editing part. Should be fun. All right, everybody. I care about you. I hope that you are staying safe and being well. And maybe go make a map and tweet at me if you make a map. Maybe make a map of me. I don't know. Just have fun, and I'll catch up with you all later. Bye-bye, everyone.